Bob, welcome in. Obviously, going educational training for the North. All the way to Tamworth for the week. So, we covered first up what to do when you get an inquiry, right to the person joining. Now we've covered the experience of the person being a member. A couple of things we left off, and Rick reminded me. One of Rick's clubs, Medai, they were down to 3 members, and they had a huge building campaign. They did a whole lot of things. And they built the club up. They put on all these members, and they had, I think they put on 13 members. They wanted to do icebreakers. So they had a whole meeting that was an icebreaker time. They had 11 icebreakers, and I was there for that. It was amazing. These 11 people gave the icebreakers. You'll never forget it. But it's programming something different to keep the pub interested and to keep people wanting to be there. The other thing I wanted to mention was what's called the quality club audit. The quality club audit is something that every member should look at. And we'll add this to the list of people who email you. It's a 36-point audit based on 6 areas. So each area has got 6 points, so it's 36. And it's about how well your club does these things. And if you look at you score yourself, you'll get a real reflection of things you do well, the things you can do better. It's a real ready reckoner for the health of your club. And sometimes you look at it and you've got to be fairly honest and say, do we really do this well? You sort of give it half a point. But it's around how you treat members, the educational program, how you are outside, how you promote. So the 36 club, the quality club audit is something that we should really take back and have a look at.
And you'll give us one?
We'll email that to you. Now the last thing, and yet you can't believe this, but occasionally people want to leave Toastmasters. I know it's hard for most of us, but sometimes they want to leave. They leave for a variety of reasons, and we were saying before, it can be because they've got what they wanted. They wanted to learn how to give presentations and they don't have to do that. They've just got stale, they've moved, they've been made redundant in a corporate club. There's a whole lot of reasons why not. What do we do when that happens? So okay, someone's leaving. Throw some responsibility. What do you do?
I'll bake them a cake and send them on their way.
Okay, that's one way. We're not writing that down.
First they understand the reason.
Hey, that's the goal. Say it again.
First they understand the reason why.
Understand the reason why. When Rebecca and I were analysing the clubs, the members that hadn't renewed, some clubs hadn't renewed 10 or 15 people. I doubt that the VPM would have known why every one of those people weren't renewed. So I know my club, 5 people didn't renew last year. We knew why. We'd overseas, this guy just didn't want it. He wanted a break. As much as you could go on and talk to them, they just wanted to go. And that's going to happen. But you've got to know the exact reason. So you know the reason, and then what do? Someone's being made redundant.
You invite them to another club, they can join another club.
You read my notes. That's perfect. So we're now just talking about what happens when people decide to leave the club. Like you can't believe that happens. So first thing we've established is, and we'll describe the stuff describing too.
Oh, well, I don't know you want to describe it.
The best club to do. We'll start describing. The first thing is find out why they're leaving. Okay? And then once you find the information, see what you do about it. Like if you've been made redundant, suggest another pub to them. What else can you do?
In that situation, remind them how much Toastmaster learned and get another job. And maybe looking at their skills now wouldn't be the right time.
Yeah. So how you put that spin on it? You can actually say that more than ever, you need Toastmasters now. You need to be upping your interview skills. At one of the clubs we helped out with the captain was there, Miranda RSL club, this girl joined because she failed the army recruitment interview. And the guy there said that you need to do Toastmasters. What we did was we said, well, how about you come back next week, we'll do a mock interview. And that was enough to get her to join. And so we did the interview at the front, and we gave someone who was interviewing it, then we all gave her feedback. We went back about a month later, and ironically, there was a guy at my home club, Parramatta, who works for army recruitment. And he had a Toastmaster, he was recommending Toastmaster, he got identified what it was. He was the guy that happened to interview her. Well, they both mentioned Toastmasters, they could give a connection and I was sort of the link between them. But she got the job. She got accepted. It wouldn't happen if she hadn't moved to Toastmasters. But she used the skills to get through the interview. So we're just covering what happens when people leave now. So the first thing is find out why they're leaving. They're leaving because they're being retrenched or whatever else. Offer them another club. Or tell them, you're leaving Toastmasters, you need Toastmasters more than anything. Okay? So, you know that. What else can we do?
What is more of a question? Most of the time, we found that the user does not have time.
Yes.
What do we do with that? How do we deal with that?
I just never believe that.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's another priority what is more important. And they can join a once a month club. They can join an hour club. It's a hit. There's a club that will suit. They just say they don't try to really get sick of the program or they're getting bored or something or haven't got a challenge. If I haven't got time, what else do you do?
I think you just use the word there, that's a challenge. Maybe it's time to give them a different challenge. If they're retiring, for example, or if if they're retiring, they've got an opportunity to give something back that you're doing.
And I'll just add to that and then come to the other. So just on that, and back to the middle section we were talking about when you're at the club, if you see someone stop coming at the club, that's a telltale sign someone's going to leave. So you give them a challenge, ask them to mentor a new Toastmaster, or just say, look, we've got a project on, can you help us? And revitalise them before they get sick of it, and then they'll say they haven't got time.
Yeah, it's very similar to that. I think a lot of people, not all, but a lot of people who say I don't have the time, have actually somehow reset their priorities.
Yeah.
So at one time the priority was to get competent, gain skills or whatever. I think maybe they're there now, and somehow the priorities have changed. So we can offer them, ask them, what is it that we can do for you to challenge you or to keep you here? What would you like to do? Is it another role in the club, or your educationals, or different goals, or whatever?
That's where that retention sort of like halfway through their CC will help them also refocus. And look for the telltale warning signs. Honestly, if they stop coming, we'll mind to it and give them a challenge. Ask them, what do you want? At Parramatta, there's a couple of seasoned members, Toastmasters, who don't come anymore. And one reason they don't come is because they say they're only called upon for the big meetings. And then slip from them. They're only rolled out to the big events. No one's taken the time to find out what they want. And that's what I think I'm not going to do. And we've got to actually find out what they want. Most people enjoy it. I mean, if it's fun and vibrant and the new people come to a club, why would you not want to do this? All right, so now, there's still a couple of real bits of gold that we haven't found yet. And I know Anna knows the answer, but what else can we do? We know someone's leaving, find out why, recommend other clubs.
Do you really believe the why sometimes? If you think that there's something else going on, address that with them.
Okay.
Acknowledge the elephant in the room if you think there is one.
And the conflict or
Yeah, it's conflict,
no, that's-
or I'm not being programmed, or something else that
Yeah.
some people just want to, run away from it and just
Yeah.
ignore it. But
I've seen a club with a couple of clubs, one in particular with a clique of people. They just do that. They've got to do the cream off the cake. People left.
To share an experience, I recently spoke to a member who attended the first meeting and made a decision not to attend and be part of the club and subsequently set up some time with her to have a chat and a coffee, find out why she joined the club and what she found was great about the club, so a general feedback session, and also what the barriers were. And for her, the barriers were the fact that she's quite a new member, she's trying to find a feed, and everybody was being too concerned about her development, so concerned that she felt like everybody's eyes on her. It didn't matter whether or not that was reality, that was just the perception. And I don't think, would have uncovered that unless I had that sort of conversation with her, invited her into that conversation, not as a, tell me what's wrong, but tell me how we can support.
Create a safe place for them to have that open discussion.
That's right. And she's agreed to come back with, I guess, with me being the VPM, making the commitment to make sure everybody sort of backs off. You know, she does her own thing. She can do it in her own pace, and she can slowly find her feet in the club.
And we all have different levels of anxiety, or we really call it being precious, but you have all different levels of where we are. You know? Some people can take more than others. You know, right? You just got to make it work. But that you took the really good. You took the time to talk to her. That's one person who will now say that if no one did that. Let me tell you two stories. I was at a club down south. I turned up for whatever it was, and I got there early. This guy said, "Oh, my last day today. I'm leaving the club." And that was the worst thing he could have said. He had no chance. He had no chance. And I said, "Why are you leaving?" "Well, I can't get here anymore. My eyesight's failing. I can't drive at night." "Okay, can someone give you a lift?" "Oh no, I'm losing me." "I live 2 hours away. I drive down to take you." "Sure, people take you." Anyway, the very next person that turned up, I said, "Go, where do you live?" "Same something. Can you pick him up?" "It's not a problem." Now, I don't think they were going to ask him why he was leaving. They wanted to go. And then I turned up at their contest about 3 weeks ago, and he was there. I looked at him and I said, "I can go home now. My job's done. I don't do anything." But he's still here. And that's all it took, was just someone doing that. But it means you've got to take the step that you took to go and actually ask, why are you leaving? It's so simple. What can we do to make it work for you? And then I was at a celebration dinner, another pub, and this guy said, "Oh, so are you a member?" I said, "No, I used to be. I've just come on for these things." "What?" And I said, "Why don't you rejoin?" And his response just floored me. He said, "There's no one asking." But guess what? "Will you rejoin?" He said, "Yes." I said, "He wants to rejoin." I said, "You sort it out." Yeah? It's as easy as that. It's just so simple. So you just got to ask and find out.
Sometimes we need that discussion. I shared that we'd had somebody coming along, with their role as mentor, or their role who was a member of other clubs, and he was giving us some guidance, and we haven't seen him for about 5 weeks. We thought, "Oh, he's lost interest." And then I found out that he had a heart attack.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
we sort of, we didn't until we think bad things about the poor guy. And
Not confused, but there's a video. That's right, I remember, yeah, Chris was saying, "No, he's dead, he's not showing up." And that's the problem. And then they send him a card. All right, you've got to ask. All right, what else do we do? What else can we do? Someone's leaving or left. Well, here, we've got an exit questionnaire. Now, there's a version on the district website, it's got the old logo, so I've just modified it. Well, I might put it to you after the website.
Any questions?
It just ask the question, we'll just scroll down. And you can change, if someone wants to word it differently or better, please do. You know, a good thing to ask when someone's leaving is say, "Why did you join? Why did you join? Did you join for this reason? What did you get out of it?" Okay, and that's the first question. So, it asks a whole range of questions. Let's scroll back down. Would you like to be kept on the club's email distribution list? Would you like to be invited to special club events? Would you be interested in rejoining a club and doing special presentations? I will give you a challenge, run Speechcraft. Or would you like details about joining another club? Good to formally sort of pose it so they can actually give you some feedback. Now maybe you can't please everyone. He might say this was hopeless and blah, blah, blah. Okay, well thank you for giving me. Okay, we'll include that in what we give you. That will be on the district website. Yeah.
Another thing I think is really important is when you get that feedback about the potential barriers, it's so important to actually show that you're actively taking actions in remedying those aspects.
If it's valid, sometimes people want to say
Yeah,
something.
absolutely. If it's valid, if it's not. Yeah, if it's something that's valid and that can be done, because the longer you leave it, even if they did stay mentality is, well, why should I bother talking to anyone about this? Nothing's going to change,
And not just that, it might affect other movements as well.
that's right.
So they could be not the first person affected by that. And you've always got to take action, something's not working right. That's what leadership is about. You're the leader of your club, sometimes something's gone wrong, so you've got to do something. Okay, so that exit survey. One other thing I recommend everyone.
Continue to keep them in contact, like, leave them in the group, the email group, or
Madeline,
social, or whatever it
you'll be reading my notes too,
is.
because my glasses. This is a list here. I'm going to scroll from here down. This list is past members of my Parramatta Club. And there's 121 that I keep in regular contact with, where by email, LinkedIn, whatever, communicate with. So once a year, our club has an anniversary meeting, and we treat it like a reunion meeting. And they all get invited back. Now, if you schedule that on your club's agenda from now on, we're going to have a reunion meeting once a year. We invite all these guys back. For a start, it's a different event at the club, something special. It gets all these people to renew old friendships. Again, we packed the room. I think we had 75 people in the room when we had our reunion meeting. And some of these guys that were members 20 years ago, and many people have built the club to what it is today, but you recognise them for that. But I recommend that each club should appoint their own club historian, a member historian, because if you try to get to the VPM each year, some people do, some people won't. Now, I can help you in that area. I've put together a list of past members of Toastmasters. And I used the help of a whole lot of people to collect all this information, so it wasn't me. Rick, what's one of your clubs?
Brandon?
Which one, Rick?
How many years back do you collect this?
Sorry, say that again?
How far back? How far back?
This goes back to 2007.
That's when we got, that's when electronic records were really good for Toastmasters. There was we could get lists.
Should be above there.
You're
this
not
one there.
there. There.
I still don't remember.
Filters on the top column. And then just look at them.
Okay.
Just scroll up.
There it
above.
is.
It's right there, Mike.
No,
Right there.
no, that's the wrong Miranda.
Well,
Well, because you're looking for Miranda Rose.
No, we put time in around.
anyway,
One sec, let me just find
You
it.
don't exist anymore.
maybe head home members leave.
Oh, Ben Iden.
Okay, Miranda Toastmaster.
There we go.
Okay,
That's it.
so these are the list of how many is that? 69 people that were members of Miranda that have left. And people leave the club. This is a 7-year period. See? So if anyone wants this information, we can give it to you.
That'd be cool.
So if you want to know, send us a note, who are your past members, and then invite, now the email address might be wrong or whatever else.
Is there a privacy issue?
Yeah, no, I'll come to that. I mean, people give they give this information to us to use for post-office meetings. That's what we're using it for. Now, when you contact someone, if someone says to you, please don't contact me again, then you have to honour that. And don't use this to invite them to your Macrabi Association annual dinner or something, whatever you go to. It could be used for post-office meetings. Now, if you know someone privately, like Rebecca knows me, you can invite me to the Macrabi annual dinner. But don't go and just randomly grab this list and scroll through and say, oh, I'm going to invite them, them, and them, and them. So this is to be used only for Toastmaster purposes. That's why they're involved in the information in the first place. Toastmasters is very explicit on that, not used for any other marketing movement. But that's available. Now, if you put on your club's agenda, you're going to have a reunion meeting, a couple of things might happen. First, everyone gets together and has some fun, but they might choose to come back. They might say, I missed this. The pub's changed, I don't know anyone anymore, whatever.
Quick question, if a former member comes back, is that considered a new member as
No.
far as the?
Sorry, as far as it is, isn't it? Yeah.
Reinstated
Reinstated member.
with a break in membership.
So what you do is
Precise.
you make sure you enter their member number. If this person came back, you punch in their member number and tick the reinstatement.
It's only a transfer that isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only transfer.
So a transfer is not a new member.
No,
Not for PCP.
All for talk about Toastmasters.
Transfer is not that one. Okay. But a reinstatement is a new
Yes.
member. Yeah.
and that's all what happens if you go to someone and say, "What are you doing?" And then the trick is to say nothing. Who speaks next? So we,
You can also ask them the option if they just want to become an inactive member for, say, 6 months or 9 months.
Yeah.
So they're still on the membership list, but not participating.
That's Pilot Promoter has maybe 20 inactive members. They want to keep their membership, but they don't turn up. And they still pay their dues every year. And one lady in particular, she said, "I feel embarrassed I'm not coming." But you still pay for them and tell them you're not. They still keep them as a member. They're not off the organisation, still on the distribution, they still get the magazine, still feel part of it.
And it can be good, like in one of the members of what is now Canberra Advanced Toastmasters is doing a course. So he's happy to keep paying. He's one of the members continuing from Madeira across. He wants to come back, but he's got a course on the, he's doing full-time study at the moment, and one of the sessions is the same day and time as the meeting. So he's remaining a member, he's inactive, and when his course is over, he'll come back. That way they're still members, and they come when they can, and there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, it's better than this guy was going to quit. And so I can't do it anymore, I can't come for the next couple of years because I'm doing this course. It's like, well, you can still be a member and just come when you can. Oh, can I?
And so just having that conversation, that one person, that one member we haven't lost. It was having a discussion. And I did a big speech a couple of days ago, and I invited all the inactive members. And someone turned up. And one guy said, a couple of them turned up, sorry. And one guy said, "Actually, might start coming back again." Just the fact that you got him to come back, he's going to recharge the energy for all the pace. Okay, so you've all seen a whole spectrum, we've got a whole lot of ideas. We're all going to package it up. I'm not going to circulate this list to everyone, but if anyone wants their specific membership for their club, send me a note and we'll get it to you. But use it. Oh, you have to use it properly, but schedule an anniversary meeting. Now, here's the juice. This is how all this comes together now. You've seen a lot. We've been going for nearly 2.5 hours. I want you all to take about 2 or 3 minutes to think of 2 things that you've seen today that you take back to your class. So you might have 10, but pick the best 2. Pick the best 2, and then what I want you all to do, one by one, to come out the front, say your name and where club, and the 2 things you want to take back to your class. You never think your club's got it all handled perfect. Because if my own club promo was here, I'd be really pushing to say a couple of things. So just 5 minutes, 25 minutes, 25 past will come back. Now think about 2 things you've seen today that you can take on, bring back to your class, to reintroduce or to invigorate the change. Thank you.
Scroll down a bit more.
You're going to stop. See? See? We're going to scroll off the page.
That's okay.
You know all those guys?
Absolutely. We want to.
Now you wouldn't have that information like that, do you?
No.
Yeah. So on
I do have most of those names in my sponsor list.
okay, and look, the records might be out, but at least if you keep in contact with people feel connected. And all these people have had some contribution to the club at some point.
It's interesting on the left-hand side, left Toastmasters, or left the club.
Yeah, I'll put that.
There's one down there. Michael Betts, he just left the club, but he's just come down.
That's it, yeah.
Down the door or something.
Yeah. Well, I did that. I actually analysed it on 2 fronts. Yeah, in That's 2007, that's 7 years, 7 full years. How many people left the organisation? How many people each year?
Oh, thousands.
16,500. 1,000 left the club, to go to another club. 6,500 people in 7 years left the club.
That's just in District 7.
District seven.
That's an awful lot.
16,500 people have left the organisation.
And they didn't join anywhere else.
Not in District 7. So only when you see the things you realise that, like my home club Parramatta, an inquiries list of 750, but only 80% become members. It's only you do the analysis, you can actually say the figures don't lie.
And that's members anywhere, isn't it?
These members anywhere.
No, the ones from Parramatta on your inquiries list, you
Anywhere
specify
you
that
just
80% is anywhere.
Yeah. What I did was I got their information and I cross-checked it against this list and against the current registered list. And it's not perfect, I use the mobile number. Like, yeah. And someone will read it because you know you've seen it. It's amazing that when you actually do the analysis, what you find. And how many of these people, not just random, but the whole 6,500, have we spoken to them about why they were leaving? Have we offered them a challenge? Have we found what their needs were? How many of them would have stayed?
You haven't got a reason on it, have you?
We don't know. But I reckon.
I could tell you most of them.
Yeah.
It's right there. It's one individual.
Yeah, and look, let me call up Parramatta's because I can hear the same thing. I don't pick on Miranda. I can't say that I'm compared to what I am. Okay, and here, 59. Yep. He said here, we don't blend the crews to another club.
Mainly left Toastmasters.
These have left Toastmasters, all left the club. But particularly the last couple of years, we've been very diligent on why they're leaving. Okay, now, whether I hit the road. They've all got at least 2 things you take back to your club. And we're going to track them, see how you're going, and see what the impact is. Let's start. Who wants to come out first? You're all going to go. Catherine?
Can I just stand here?
Oh, a couple of fronts.
Get at the front, Catherine. No.
Such a one more.
Two things. Firstly, my club, with a new visitor, we just give them a person to sit with them and hold their head. And I like the idea of introducing them to increasing it because that gives them a greater sense of being important. And the other thing was I liked talking up front about what your future financial commitments are because we don't tend to raise the money initially. Small, but that's it.
What was it?
Explain how the money's worked out, how we pay fees.
Oh, the sign up.
Yeah.
And I think with all of you, I think it's mandatory, it's automatic that you're going to keep an electronic list of every inquiry you get. I think that's really important. You do that. My list has every phone inquiry, email inquiry, every visitor, and every spacecraft inquiry you get. All on the one list. Okay, who's next? Thank you, Catherine. Who's next? Right, Rick the Rock.
That's what I thought last night. Started to keep away.
It was so interesting.
At club, I want to say a couple of about Brandon Toastmasters. we have always voted in new members. But the way we've been doing it is at the break, the VPM or somebody who'll often do this class will walk around and quietly talk to all the members and say something like, are you happy if Michael joined the club? Yes, I know. Yes, no, rarely get noticed, but yes, yes, yes. And that's how we conduct the vote. And the member, the new person doesn't have any idea. So listen to Michael's description of how Parramatta does it. It was interesting. And I've heard this before, but when Michael was describing the look on the person's face when they come back in, probably like they're being led to the slaughter to come back in. What am I going to say? It might be a better way of doing it, because the person comes in and everyone stands up and claps, and quite clearly they've been accepted, and you tell them that as well. So that might be, I'd like to perhaps try that. And what was the other thing? Oh, it's gone right out of my head. Oh yes, now there's one thing I want to say. One thing I don't think it's been mentioned today. Talking about converting visitors into new members. And I've seen people send a application form to the member via email, put them in visitor kits and send them away, and supposed to fill these things out and bring them back. The best way to do it is when the person's ready to join, sit down with them for 3 or 4 minutes and help them through it. Rather than, it's a horror of a form. And this happened just only 2 weeks ago at midnight. It was a busy meeting. I was up doing something I wanted to do. We had 2 visitors. I got to 1 visitor. But the second visitor, I couldn't get to because the meeting started and he had the form. But what do you think he did? What do you think he did with that form? And this is the drama with damn form. What he's got it. No. Any ideas, Rebecca?
Did he fill it out completely wrongly and be very confused?
No, he did a pretty good job of filling it out, but he did something that's not required and shouldn't be.
Oh, put his credit card details on.
Yes! Put his credit card. Now, as a Toastmaster Club, we should never retain credit card details of anyone. So what I did, I tore that section out of the form and handed him his credit card details back to him. I retained the top up, wrote out a fresh form, then I got him to sign. Not how that people put credit card details into those forms.
Isn't the form got a credit card so you can pay my credit card?
No. When you join a club, when a new member joins the club, those clubs that I know of has credit card facilities. It's either cash, check, or direct.
I can answer that because it's been on the international thing. Clubs in America often let their members pay fees directly to Toastmasters International through the credit card. We don't encourage that in Australia because, well, the Australian dollar changes every 5 seconds, and also clubs need some money to operate. And in fact, there was a long discussion on, I think it was the president's LinkedIn group, about how clubs in America collect the membership fees and that little bit extra that they need to run the club. And they were quite astounded by the fact that most of the people outside of America were quite astounded that they actually let members pay direct to TI with their credit card, or that they put the credit card details on the form. You're meant to retain the form to prove it's an actual membership.
There's so much wrong with it.
And whereas in Australia, there's some very strict rules here. So it's a difference in rules between countries. District 70 allows credit card payments, but not for memberships, only for specific events. And there are some clubs who, I think of one club that does have a credit card facility, but they're enormous and do a lot of other stuff. And they do it through their company.
Debit cards.
Yeah. Yeah, debit cards are great. But some of the corporate clubs allow their members who are also employees to use their corporate credit card facilities to pay, that kind of thing. But in Australia, there's a lot of other rules around it. So I actually put a big cross through that part of the form. I pre-fill in as much of the form I can and just attach a fee flyer, like I said earlier.
Rick, just to get us on track.
I just need to clarify this, okay, right? Now, it's contradictory. Beckers has told us that America allows that to happen. But then, America doesn't want these membership forms.
No, it's bizarre.
So I think it's something's going to fade out. And the CIO say that you must have an executive, and one of the executives, of course, the treasurer. Well, that's what the treasurer does. So as far as we are concerned, that part of the form is for the club to pay TI, not the new member to pay the club. There's a little square box on the right-hand side, which is where you insert the new member fee and the membership fee of the new member. That's the only place you put it. That part of the form is for the club to pay that membership. That's Masters International through Club Central.
Yeah, sorry, Rick, I can't just go. Okay, so the two things you're going to take on is one, you look at the induction. The second one is something you're already doing. What's the second thing you're going to take on?
Oh, look, what was?
No, you need to.
I'll sit down, I'll let someone else have a go. I think I'm going to let you know.
We'll get it later, Michael. We'll get into them all later.
Okay, all right, who's next? Okay, two. Okay, you're all going to get a turn, so don't be shy. Okay, Chris.
Sorry, Rod.
Right, you're right, Chris.
Then I didn't see it again. That's all right.
Quickly, things we're going to do is the membership certificate for new members, and secondly is a speech rotation.
Yep.
Speech rotation offer.
Okay.
For
Well done. Good. Okay.
I actually got a lot out of today, so there's a number of them that I would like to take away, but the two that I would like
You
to,
can say what you like, but give us two.
the two are the list of inquiries, as you have them up there. I think that's very useful. As well as the follow-up email, particularly the day before the meeting, to say, look forward to seeing you tomorrow night. I think that's, that being a last minute thing, I think that would be very effective to compliment the.
Okay, thank you.
So what club was that?
Oh,
That's right, I can't write it. So.
Okay. Well, unless there's someone else called that one.
I like the idea of the membership badge, so they have the name badge there, every meeting, and also the anniversary. So we introduce that to our president, and I think we will take it on too.
Hope everyone takes that on. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Sure.
I think for us it'd be really good to just formalise the difference between the new member kit and the visitors sort of kit. I think there might be a bit of a blur in terms of that, and just make the new member kit a little bit more outstanding and maybe not the same as Parramatta's, but similar in that it's something special that you can sort of clutch on. But I think they use the same brown folders at the moment. I just think it needs that next sort of level. And I'm quite interested in finding out about past members and doing a bit more sort of follow-up in terms of the process.
Okay.
We have an anniversary meeting, so that would be an opportunity to sort of do that. And we also have the Christmas meeting, so we might do it.
I'm not surprised at how many you get to come back.
Well, just seeing them. I mean, we have done that in the past with a couple of people, and even just sort of seeing them. You never know. We're only new, so it's the start of the journey.
Okay. You can't hide. Oh, well done.
Oh,
Yeah, look, we only arrived very late, but already got fantastic things out of this session. I know you've been with it. So I wrote it down in my notes. Three things actually, is that all right? Three things. I think the reunion dinner is a great idea. We've done it occasionally, like we can't get every year's a grand idea. The dedicated historian role, I think that's got merit too, because that chops and changes among people. And the exit survey, obviously. I just also wanted to mention too, in relation to the form, basically what we do is we go through the form whenever we can in terms of the promise, because that's an important part of the form and the signature. But apart from that, we just say, fill it, give us your address and contact detail, forget the rest. Tell them about the money, of course. Tell them about the money.
It's not just-
All you have to do is tell them that section is,
Yeah.
the club's use, not
Yeah,
their use.
let's have to worry about it. And with the, oh, voting your members, we used to do the take them out and bring them in thing. It was all very awkward. We found that very, very rarely, in fact, it never happened. Did anyone have a concern? I think we like the idea of getting the name out of that amongst members before the vote happens. But nowadays, we just leave people in the room and just vote them in, and we get a big voice on the nomination, a big voice on the second, a big yay when you say all those in favour, no nays. It's just all very positive.
Okay,
Horses for courses, Mike.
it's horses for courses, that's it.
Tina from Smart. There's a lot of things I can do, but too easy thing I'll probably start with is the membership certificate. While that probably is useful. And the next one is the free flight. So myself don't need to remember explain the fee structure. So everything is in this little flight.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, this is interesting.
Oh, the pressure.
Yeah.
So again, my name is Sue. I prioritise 4 things to bring back immediately to Nelson Sydney Toastmasters. We've just charted, so we're a very new club. You might laugh at this, but name tags are going to be our #1 focus and priority. That's not something that we have for our current members at the moment, nor do we have for our visitors. And I think it's very important to give people who are new to the club, who are all new to the club, some sort of presence and some sort of a club feeling there. So that's my #1 priority here. Next is apologies via agenda. This, I think, encourages people to look through the agenda email, regardless of whether or not they're attending the meeting. Too easy is it for us to receive an email to think, I'm not attending this meeting, I don't need to read the agenda, I don't need to see what sort of items on the agenda and what roles I want to fill. By, I guess, mandating that we need to put through apologies, everybody would actually go through the email and go through that process and keep on top of what's happening at the club. The visitors kit, I think, is very helpful, and I've been very impressed with what's been put together so far to get members up and going off the ground. So that's something we'd also like to bring back to the club. And finally, the induction ceremony is something I think would be very helpful for everybody to feel like we're getting a very good club feel about it. So that's what we're doing about that.
Thank you. Okay.
Michael, what are you taking back?
Oh, geez, geez, what a thing.
Michael, have you learned anything today?
Someone said something, I think that's a good idea, you can do that.
Well, while you're thinking about that, Michael, can I just add something that Bob and I'm at the back, so.
Okay.
Both Bob and I and a few others came up with a suggestion a few months back. About sort of to do with that email reminder. We actually SMS club members, and probably about the day before or usually on the day of, to just remind them that there is a meeting on that night. It's just a little potential pod that the meeting's there. You should have a look at your notes and get ready for it.
And you have that as a group if you want to.
Yeah.
It's been very well accepted. We've received the MSSA. Thank you very much.
What's the concept
That's the second
around to
one.
apologise?
The second one, Rick?
Yeah, and Sue reminded me of it, it's the visitor name tags. We've tried to do that on various occasions, but it's always fallen in the heap after time. And, but with that's what I was going to ask you, that header, is that an email header or was it a business card header?
I think I've got a business card, but that template you can use or you can play around with it.
Did you pull it off a business card? Okay.
But
I was trying to pull that off a business card, but I get the whole sheet.
That's already been formatted, ready to go. It takes 8 to a page, I think.
Yeah.
All squared up, so you can cut it, got the lines marked, you don't have to think. Okay. One. Bam. Well, someone said something, and I thought that's a good idea.
Yep.
Frustration, we can help.
The survey.
No one can
A
look
little
in.
survey.
The survey, what was the survey?
In the visitor.
Oh, yeah, the visitor kit survey.
Thank you.
Correct, the visitor kit survey. That was one that we don't do. And also, and the fee schedule, and the fee schedule of the visitor kit. They're two things. Yeah, look at it.
Yeah, I knew that had happened.
How about the bed?
No, I'm good.
You can go to
I'm actually not a VPM at the moment for the first time in many years, but I've got an M for my other role. There we go. So, obviously technology is a bit hard, but I think for me, there's been so many good ideas that my brain is bursting with good ideas. And some of my clubs do some of these things, but I don't think any of my clubs do all of these things well. So, I think we need to go back to the more formal induction ceremony, at least in one of my clubs, because I think people have gotten used to just turning up and, oh, hey, Chris just joined. Okay, that's lovely, but there's no pomp and ceremony, so they don't feel inclusive, I guess. Just help start them off on the right foot, make them feel special to begin with. The other thing I'm going to look at is something really interesting and important. Oh, yeah, I'm going to do the name tag thing as well, actually. I've tried in the past and I've failed, and I'm stunned that Michael succeeded. But that's okay, because I'll steal them and we'll start doing that. Those convention card orders from Officeworks, they cost nothing. So you're just going to box those and have those ready to go. Even if you're not sure and you've got a couple of blank ones that someone with a decent handwriting can write on in case people turn up and haven't pre-done it. So they're my two big takeaways for a couple of my clubs, which need a bit of a prompt and a bit of refreshing, shall we say. Refreshing.
Yeah, one other, when we were talking in the middle section about how to keep members invigorated. One thing we did this year, and we stole the jump on other clubs, but all our newish members, we said to them, "Your evaluation contest on now, do you want to be test speakers?" And we had 10 people go saying, "Yes, we'll do it." So we just communicated that out. Well, our one club has supplied 15 test speakers. For 15 different roles, some have doubled up. But 15, that's 15 speaking opportunities. They all have the speeches evaluated. Now, they're getting an enriched learning by being test speakers and getting a huge amount of feedback so quickly. So just think of that too, encouraging your members to be test speakers. Give them a challenge and something different.
David hasn't said anything.
Oh, David, you take it easy.
I didn't say anything because no one asked me.
David, say something, please.
I'm very shy.
Yeah, we've noticed it, mate.
Two things I take away. One is because I'm a member of an open corporate club that's pretty well is kind of struggling. Jammer. And I think anything to get people communicating together easily in that way will be fantastic. And the other thing is that I'm not a club officer at the moment, but I'm kind of slated to be 1 or 3 next year. And I'm definitely going to hit the reunion idea hard for each club that I'm an officer in. No doubt about that.
Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're going to, all these things that you've committed to doing, we're going to summarise, send out to you, we're going to follow up and see how you're going. So you do this, you start. Please enroll your presidents, don't just turn up there and say, we're doing this from now on, because it may not work. So enroll your presidents and what get them to change, and it's changed for a good reason. The better quality you make a member experience, the better chance to have them staying in the organisation. We won't have another 16,500 people leave for the next 7 years. That's what we want to do. Can you believe it? So,
Do you know whether that's decreasing, like did you do it by years?
I haven't broken up over the year.
How many new members join? How many new members join?
See, this is what happens when you do some analysis, Michael. Actually, ask for more.
Off the top of my
That's
head,
good.
we're consistently around 6,500 or so, and grow a little bit.
We have 6,380 memberships.
That's remarkably precise.
That's in the district.
That was yesterday.
It's exception.
That's
It's just exception.
If there's a $16,000 loss, though, we've probably signed up 20,000 in 7 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, clearly, yeah. That's
We've
right.
grown, not
Yeah.
strong.
Yeah, we've grown.
Question, do you have our email address?
Yes, we do.
All right, Catherine?
Yes, I just like to say, one thing I think Toastmasters can improve on is succession planning. I think it's a good idea if you photocopy your notes today and hand them on to the person who's taking over the role in the next year.
And I think we might create a portal on the website, I'll talk to you about it.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff we've collected, we need to keep, and, to reinvent every time, but please tell your predecessors what you've learned. And set some traditions in your club that are going to be long lasting forever. Set them and say your club keeps on going and going and going and going. Very good, Sandy. That's good for a bit early.
My goodness, we're a bit early. That's awesome for Toastmasters. I just want to really thank everyone. This webcasting thing has been very exciting, but I think it's worked out well, and hopefully this is the beginning of bigger things to come, because there are a lot of remote clubs, especially up Bob's Way, where there's a little bit of distance between one club and the next. So this is a way we can help share that kind of information out broader than just the capital cities. Although I think Bob had some trouble watching this morning because of the patchy internet coverage on the highway. Patchy, we'll go with patchy. So thanks for that. And just thanks for sharing your ideas.
In the info pack, if there's any webcasting for dummies, I'd be interested in hearing.
Yes, well, let me just say, webcasting for dummies, that's what Bob and I worked out yesterday. We use, this is a Google Hangout. I'll show you where that is. YouTube is also designed, but yes, I'm happy to put in my vast knowledge of this much to give you a bit of a point of where to start. I'm sure there are people in this district who know how to do this much better than we do, but we can just point you in the right direction to begin with, and then you can play. And if you find out something, please share it back.
Can I make a recommendation? I found today very, very helpful. And I don't know how often you run these sessions, but is it possible to maybe run one when the new year starts as well, so that, like, if I had known some of this stuff, I would have.
This was always our intent. And then July kind of got away from us, and then August, and then September. So, but now we've done this now, and we know what works, and that it works, and people want it. We will look for the next team to run it in July.
Exactly, that's exactly it. Because obviously, it's good you know it now than not at all. But yeah, it will be better to do it.
And further on that point, why is it only the VPR and VPM? What about the others?
We started with the PR and VPN because, well, Michael and my focus is membership, and it's been the focus of the district because we tend to do okay for educational awards, but not for membership, membership things. I've lost the ability to speak this afternoon, apparently. So we focused on this time, but there's probably a lot of benefit running it for VPEs, probably for presidents dealing with some perhaps tricky situations. And I certainly have been using my fellow presidents for a few things. And budgeting, as a past district and past, current, and apparently potentially ever future treasurer at the club level, I find a lot of people come into the treasurer role and have no idea. They might get the fee flyer, but they don't understand how the fees were developed, the budgeting process, what it's meant to pay for, what you can and can't spend money on. Because even though you get the club leadership handbook, which has a lot of this stuff in it, sometimes it doesn't sink in until you're actually in the role. So there's probably a lot of benefit doing for at least those roles. Whether we need it for Sergeant Arms Secretary as well, don't know. But certainly a lot of benefit. Well, as Michael and I step into the next challenge, we will certainly look at maybe broadening it out for other officers. But thank you, Madeline, for the idea.
Because what makes the member experience great is having not just good promotions, good members, member state things, good education programs, good meetings, and all that stuff. So the VP role is a good role.
Thank you. The shy David District Government.
Yeah,
like
I've
to
been
say
asked to
something.
come up now. I'd like to thank Michael and Rebecca for the time and the effort they've put in today. It's 3 hours in the morning for the DPPRs, and they're actually marketing, it's more membership than anything, so they've actually crossed over into the PR role, which our PR officer should have been perhaps doing.
That's all right. It helps us too.
By
Yeah,
The fact that,
we were gonna be nice not to say that.
they've done this morning, they've done this afternoon, and for a hell of a lot of effort into it. And we really appreciate it. I know there's not many people here, but what we have gained has been phenomenal from the insights and the knowledge that these two Lieutenant Governor marketings have put in today. So I'd like us all to please put our hands together for.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And I don't see any reason that we shouldn't call that closed. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good evening.
Bye-bye, webcasters.
Go and make your clubs rock.